This is huge for the Sharks' future as one prospect is moving up in the rankings, plus an unsung hero is helping the Barracuda on their push to the playoffs this season. We're going to break it all down for you guys coming up on this episode of Sharks Digest. But before we get into it, we got to say that about 50%, 59% of you guys watching these videos aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up on the latest Sharks news heading into a big off season, we're going to keep you up to date here every single day, so make sure down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's get right into it here. I mean, we see the Barracuda right now are just outside the playoffs, and recently they've been on a little bit of a run here and are looking like they are going to get into the playoffs right now. Ninth in the West, with only a couple points between each team, the Barracuda could easily find themselves a way into the playoffs, and with a lot of great talent down there and a great goaltender who we're going to talk about here, it's really looking like the Barracuda are going to make a little run for the Calder Trophy, or the Calder Cup this year, so it's going to be exciting for all of us San Jose fans, because obviously the Sharks aren't going to be in the playoff mix, so we're going to have something to watch here with the Barracuda if they make it in. But like I alluded to, we had a great article again from Sheng Peng. It'll be linked down below. Make sure to go down below and check it out. The full interview with Carriere is there, and that's who we're talking about, Gabriel Carriere. If we just take a look, he has taken a lot of the load lately for the Barracuda, obviously with, I believe, Ashcroft dealing with an upper body injury. They've had to have a guy come and step up here, and this is what Carriere has done for the Barracuda. In his last 8 games, he's 4-2-2, going into now having a 919 save percentage for this team. He has been on absolute fire for this Barracuda team, just shutting everything down and really being able to carry the load and be able to make some big saves in clutch times, and that's what we've seen from him since he's been called up. Obviously, veteran Aaron Dell is backing him up, which is great because this is a guy who's going to be able to teach him a lot and be able to kind of mentor him during his time in the Barracuda, which is great to see because obviously we have a great goaltender prospect there in Askarov coming up, a guy that's probably going to be on the main roster next year with the San Jose Sharks. So having another one down in the pipeline in Carriere, it is great to see because we need goaltenders. I think, you know, it's something that maybe the Sharks fans haven't really seen a good one since Martin Jones, I would say, is the really last big name that sticks out in my mind. Correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comment section, but it seems lately we've had a lot of these goaltenders play very good for our team. And if we see, obviously, Carriere is 7-5-2 with a 908 in his rookie AHL campaign, which is great numbers. I would say anything over 900 in your rookie season is phenomenal work. And obviously, you know, the Barracuda have been up and down all season because, you know, the players have been called up and down for the San Jose Sharks. A lot of their really good players that have been playing good for them. So it is great to see him come in, make an instant impact for this team, and really put them on that push towards the Calder Cup this year, and I really hope that his success does continue. We did also get a quote from him in this article, and I just want to bring it up for you guys here because it is a great quote from such a young goaltender. He says, "It's been awesome. Obviously, whenever I come up here, I want to play as much as I can, and I feel like I've definitely got a bigger load of games. This time around, I'm just trying to make the most of it," and obviously that's per San Jose Hockey Now and our great reporter in Sheng Peng here. Obviously, this guy has been good. He's obviously saying he's trying to make the most of it, and he has done that. He's been a exceptional goaltender for the Barracuda in his last 8 games. I mean, putting up 4 wins is great. 2 overtime losses are tough, but he has been great. The numbers don't lie, and it's great to hear from a young goaltender that he's just trying to make the most of the opportunity. When I get called up, I want to play my best, and that is what he's doing, and it's great for the future of the San Jose Sharks because in the future, if goaltending injuries do happen, because they do happen around the league, we have a guy down there in Carriere that can come up and be a a piece for the San Jose Sharks, whether it's taking an odd start, whether it's starting in general. I think he's a guy that's going to be great to have in that pipeline, and he's just going to keep getting better and better, which is great to see. But we want to quickly move on to the next topic of this video today, which is Quentin Musty. And Quentin Musty has been moved up in the prospect rankings from the Hockey News, and as we see here, Quentin Musty, Tanner Moldick, Fyodor Svechnikov, and Leon Bichelle are the top 5 biggest risers in the Hockey News' prospect list, top 100 prospect list. And they say here, Musty's strong year in Sudbury saw him go from 73rd on the top 100 list to 41st. Yes, you are seeing that right. That is a huge jump, an almost 40-point jump, 40 ranking jump in the top 100 list. And he said likely would have been higher if he's start to the OHL season wasn't delayed due to a trade request. He has 59 points in 39 games. This guy has been absolute fireworks. This is a guy we've been talking about all year since we started this channel. Like, this guy has been phenomenal and is going to be one of our most exciting prospects coming up. And seeing him take this big jump on this ranking list is nothing to bat an eye at here, because going from near the bottom of this ranking list to the middle, almost high middle of this list is huge. There was a lot of big names on this, like Ivan Demidov. These are the guys who are in the top of the top. Sam Dickinson up there as well. So I think having him jump this much just shows how good his game has been this season and how well he has played in Sudbury. I mean, if we just take a look, he said 59 points, 30 goals, 29 assists. Obviously, this is a big guy who's 6'2", who is a more of a power forward, but like, he's a powerful guy. He can explode out of nowhere and just cut to the net, make these insane moves that we've seen from Quentin Musty this season. And one thing that some scouts have said that he needs to work on is his speed, but I think as of late he has been working on that, and that's something that with time will come for Quentin Musty. And I think this guy is going to be a great player for the San Jose Sharks. I can see him coming up in a couple seasons time, maybe even next season if he has a good training camp, and playing that bottom 6 and being good. But you also don't want to bring him in too early, because that could stunt his growth altogether. And there was actually a chart here kind of breaking down Musty's game. This was a week ago, so bear in mind that these stats are from a week ago, but this is basically ranking his scoring and stuff out of 100. He's an 87.8 out of scoring, which is great. Obviously, his transition is 92.9, showing how good he is at getting from zone to zone, making those moves in the middle of the ice and getting into the zone. That's how great he's been. His off puck is 31.5, but, you know, that's what you expect with a winger. You don't expect him to be a tremendous, you know, defensive forward. I mean, there are a lot of wingers that are like that, but that's just not Quentin Musty's game. But could he get there? Definitely. I mean, 31 isn't bad. It's not like it's, you know, 10 or something like that. He can still get it done pretty effectively. And as we see here, his goals per 60 and assists per 60 are in the high 90s. I mean, obviously last season he had like over 100 points in the OHL. So obviously this has been a guy who has been great for the Sudbury Wolves and for any team he's been with in his junior career. And I think that is going to transition well with the San Jose Sharks, because having such a great forward here who has a lot of high potential and a lot of scouts are excited to see how this game will transition, it's going to be great, because any guy who's scoring 100 points in the juniors is going to be an NHLer at some point, and hopefully we can see his game transition well into a San Jose Sharks uniform. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think about Gabriel, Carriere? What do you think about Quentin Musty? Let us know down below. But I'm going to bring in something new here. We're going to bring in the comments of the day. Pick one of your guys' comments and kind of just break it down here. This guy GH commented on one of our videos and said Vlasic has been a great Shark. He provides knowledge and leadership to the kids on defense. Hope he sticks around after he retires. And I definitely have to agree with you here, GH. I think Vlasic has been a great Shark. I mean, when you think of San Jose Sharks, obviously you go to Joe Thornton, you go to Pavelski, you go to all these guys. But you know, Vlasic is right there. He has been on this team for years and years, and like you said, he's going to be a great mentor to all these young defensemen that they do have coming up. So I would like to see him stick around after he retires. I think that would be great to see, but appreciate the comment there. But yet again, Do want to hear your guys' thoughts on Quentin Musty, on Gabriel, Carriere, down below in the comment section. We love reading through all your guys' comments, and now you might be able to be featured on the comment of the day. But as always, I've been your host, KC. We'll catch you in the next one.